first poem addresses insomnia. Hypnos, god of sleep. He creeps into my bed, envelops me, erases my worries, and together we dream. But on those nights when he doesn't show, and I know he's out sleeping with others, I wait and watch and add him to my worries. He ruins my nights, disturbs my days, and he never listens. My counselor says, you're stuck with him. Calm him with chamomile, soothe him with love talk. That night he watches as I brew his tea, bathe, dab lavender, turn on Brahms, and get into bed early, hoping he's pleased, hoping he stays the night. Going out. At a gala picnic before the opera, the lawn is dotted with white tables and people tuxedoed and gowned. Couples mingle and chat in this throwback to prom night. A friend of my ex, a French designer who had us over for prime rib and Yorkshire pudding, stares at me. She's remembering my turn to cook, pot roast and mashed potatoes. I dodge a nice but boring couple, see a woman wave, then turn away, and I realize she's avoiding me. I hate this dressing up and going out, yet long to be accepted in the land of pretense, prince and Cinderella balls. For me, it's midnight, and I'm found out. I go inside to my seat, safe, until my daughter's nursery school teacher smiles and my failings as a mother flash. The hardest part of going out is running into myself. And this is the poem Garrison Keillor read, First Love. My first boyfriend was my second choice. Beth got Jerry Jensen, so I got Billy James, whose jaw hung, his tongue showing. I looked down on Billy. Girls were taller in 7th grade. I wore his ID bracelet and a motorcycle cap with his initials. When we hugged, he smelled like ivory soap, his cheek smooth and soft, a Norman Rockwell boy. Walking me home from school, he carried my books and looked forward to a kiss at my door. I knew he was trustworthy and true, reliably mine, but Billy didn't know me. I'd met a tall guy who drove a Ford. His cheeks were sandpaper rough, and he French kissed. And on this day on my front porch, when Billy handed me my books, I handed him his ID bracelet and watched his face redden, his eyes tear, hurt bursting his seams. We both cried, soap opera style, and Billy ran home. In my room, I draped myself over my bed like an actress, far away from home, pained and in love with drama. And I recently wrote a sequel. The day after I broke up with Billy. His friend says he's over being hurt. He's mad. In the classroom, I look away when I see him. After school, he doesn't offer to carry my books. We live near each other. He walks with Kurt. I stay close to Patty, even though she wears orange blossom perfume from Florida. The boys follow us. Mr. Dodd's bulldogs bark as usual. His lawn sprinklers go on. We run. My hair and books get wet. Billy and Kurt laugh really loud. Patty helps dry off my books. I have cramps and need to get home. Then the boys run toward us. Billy grabs my purse and they take off, leaving me screaming. Patty and I chase them for over a block. Billy taunts me, says he's got a present for me. He and Kurt toss my purse like a football. Patty and I put down our books and try to catch it. When I snag it, the boys disappear. I open my bag. A dead sparrow stares at me. My stomach turns. I sob. Patty takes over, gets rid of the bird, holds me, lets me cry. I'm beginning to like orange blossom perfume. And a few marriage poems. First date, 1973. We sip from long straws and share a Trader Vic's kava bowl that takes us where we're too shy to go. I choose a maraschino cherry, place it between your lips. You bite, I pull the stem. Under this thatched roof hut, we taste Cosmo tidbits and finger tiny paper umbrellas. You're no longer a baseball bicycle beer guy who's never heard of Ram Dass. I'm no longer an encounter group disco dance devotee. We're undercover agents, selling ourselves, hoping this high lasts. Champs-Élysées stroll, 1980. On a torrid day, traffic and tourists sweat as we trudge toward Café Latteray. I'm determined to taste the famed macaroons a friend raved about. My husband cites a brasserie and wants to skip macaroons, souring my Paris magic. I hurl our history at him. You don't love me. You never loved me. His eyes flare, his lips quiver, then his body snakes across 10 lanes of cars, leaving me gilded in guilt, staring at the arch of triumph. He had quit smoking, and now he returns, puffing a cigarette, punishing me, hurting himself. 2 tired tourists call a truce, march in league down the Champs, toting a memory, a slice of time, toasted with heat, hot words, and smoke. To toast or not to toast? I'm making toast. Do you want some? He asks. I look up and say, I had a late lunch. I'm not sure. My husband shakes his head. He throws his hands up. It's not a declaration of war. It's a piece of toast. He stalks off. He returns and says, I'm sorry. I forgot how your brain works. I ask a question and you answer, well, it's March, but it's Friday. Is it raining? Let me think. I look up and say, yes, I'd love a piece of toast. Thoughts on thoughts. One cold day, drying myself after a shower, I noticed my husband's towel hung over a heating vent. If anything ever happens to him, I think, I'll get the warm towel bar. When I tell him my thought, he laughs and says, I haven't pictured your demise since yesterday, when you ate the last chocolate. Moving on. I'm a geyser. I hold anger in and pressure spray my husband away and steam for the day. He sulks and waits for my remorse. On this bright morning, I'm singing, and since I know he's not fond of my songs, I shut his office door. He makes a fatal mistake. He turns around from his desk and says, good. I swing into the room and erupt. Do you have to die before I can sing? Do I have to kill you before I can sing? I slam the door and head for breakfast as my brain presses replay on old hurts. Then my mind ratchets, pivots to living in the present moment. I turn from angst to food. I'm determined to enjoy my omelet when he emerges, ready for the next step in our dance. Morose, he approaches and says, I'm too upset to go for my massage. I want to say, good, and get his geyser going. But the new me says, we had a fight. It's over. No apologies, no grief. Move on. He wants to talk. I hug him and tell him my eggs are getting cold. And if he tries, I bet he can have a great massage. The favor. As I'm cooking risotto, he calls from our bedroom. I pretend I don't hear. It's part of my no yelling training program. When he comes to where I am and says, would you do me a favor? I turn around. He's naked. We're not 30, not making a caramel croquembouche that we lick off each other. But still, I ask, just what kind of favor? He grins and says, would you check me over? I see the dermatologist tomorrow. I start with his back. My assessment's useless. Being useless is what we do for each other. I stare at benign spots that don't look benign. Like stars in the sky, they freckle his skin. Orion's belt, Little Dipper, Ursa Major. I ask about a mole on his leg that he recalls as familiar. He shows me one on his arm, and I okay it, knowing trained eyes will see these constellations. I check his chest, his North Star pacemaker that pilots his heartbeat, then explore his lower body, his Big Dipper staying little, and fading new hip scars. Like an astrologer, divining the sun, moon, and planets, I favor him with a horoscope. All signs look good. I turn back to the stove and stir the risotto. And 2 more poems. At the farmer's market. I'm standing in line to buy this week's soup. Someone I know comes up behind me, places her hands on my shoulder, and says, "Sweetheart, you can make your own soup." and off she walks after pushing my "you don't know how to live" button. I'm back in 7th grade home economics when the teacher asks, "Who knows how to make soup?" I'm the only one to raise a hand, and with pride I say, "First, you open the can." Then I'm in college psychology, searching for the secrets to life before they were sold on every street corner, when they were written in jargon, when my professor says, "Go through the motion to get the emotion." My sister teases, the secrets to the universe are in the glove compartment. And there's the day I hear James Taylor sing, "The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time." I sigh and buy my guilt-flavored corn chowder. As I pass through the market, I see the woman who sent me on this journey. She's buying zucchini and cauliflower. I control my urge to put my hands on her shoulders and say, "Sweetheart, you can grow your own vegetables." The bang theory. My sister calls it her bang theory. People look the same day after day, and then, about every 5 years, bang, they change. At age 70, she says, the popcorn plan takes over. Little pops happen daily. And this explains the stranger I see in the mirror. Bang, pop, pop, pop. She no longer reflects the me I know. I look after her as best I can, since she masquerades around town and pretends to be me.